bees are dying, and our survival depends on them. That's why 4RBs created the Pure Wave Cell, a breakthrough quantum device proven to help hives thrive, doubling colonies and boosting honey production naturally. Every jar of our Pure Wave honey fuels this mission, supporting beekeepers worldwide. Visit 4RBs.com. That's the number 4RBs.com, and use code WITF for 20% off. Save the bees. Save us all!
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I hope everybody's had a great week, and thank you for joining myself, Cecil, and Morgana as we dive into some Fringe Theory Friday. Interesting fact for the background for everybody out there. We was going to cover the Memphis Children Home. We forgot to tell the person that sends out all the notifications, which is Tully. And so he set up Fringe Theory. And I actually did complete research this week.
He did. He showed it to me.
I had a full, huge thing filled out, and when I was like, "Oh, we're not doing that," well, I need to get some theories together real quick and some stuff together. I went up and I hit X, and it said, "Do you want to save?" And I said, "Don't save." Now it's gone forever, but I'll get to do it again. So
yes. We'll do it next week.
I'll just have twice as much recollection of the information at that point.
Yeah, you're going to find out newer and better stuff.
Exactly. And what's up, Linda, Crystal,
Ronnie? How's it going, y'all? I have a question. Mm-hmm. The music that we do, Jenny, on our intro, was that something that y'all did?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that damn music every week.
Yeah. I forgot who did the everything on it, but yeah, we did that forever ago, and the outro is straight totally he did something that totally did all that.
Yeah. And I like the outro, but like I said, that music every week, it gets me in the mood. I'm bouncy and dancing to it and everything. So good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, that's how we roll. I have a fever pitch of a dream. I have a fever pitch of a band I want to start, like a fever dream. It literally came from a fever dream. In my head, and I've pitched this to two people so far, three people that I'm trying to get together to form this band. And they asked me what it sounds like. I was like, if you took mindless self-indulgence, how do I phrase it? Let's see. If you took the frogs and mindless self-indulgence and they had a baby, then you took Slaughter and Prevail and the Bad Brains and had them have a baby. Then those two babies got together and made a band, and they were influenced by sleep, made a baby, and that baby was influenced by sleep. That's what I want it to sound like.
So it's a generational thing.
Yeah, it's going to be like a punk no post metal post deathcore band. Yeah, I think that's the best way you can do it. Hey Jenny, what's up?
Okay, so I'm just curious. Does Tully, if you're lurking, you can answer this. Does he like anything from the grunge era of the 90s?
You know, I don't know.
Because I know he doesn't like Soundgarden. He doesn't like Chris Cornell or Audioslave. He does not like Rage Against the Machine, I discovered today. I have to be in the mood for Rage Against the Machine, but I'm a huge Tom Morello fan. He's one of my favorite guitarists. But it seems like every time we talk about music and something comes up about 90s, he doesn't like that era. So
Tully's more of an instrumental guy.
I got you. And I like instrumental too. Elaine was awesome. Yes, he was.
Tully and I was in a post deathcore band together.
Yeah.
What we started off, and yeah.
He's special. He's special.
But I love grunge. I was in a grunge. Well, I hate saying post, but it was a post grunge band. It fell in the realm of like Seether and stuff.
And see, that's like, okay. Yes, I'm Gen X and I love all that music, but I love grunge, post grunge, that era. Okay, I love everything. There is very little music that I will not listen to something of it. I mean, when I've actually had somebody tell me that my playlist on my phone, just my random playlist, is bipolar because it goes from classical to grunge to gospel. It's got everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Hard, light, it doesn't matter. But that's what I play when I'm just in the mood for music in general. Because I can skip through something if I don't want a particular song.
Interesting thing is when I was a kid, like 12, I played guitar. And I was actually good at it. So like I played in a lot of hardcore bands and stuff. And then everybody wanted me to play bass. And I had been playing bass for years at that point, but I drifted to bass and kept playing hardcore and like screamo and stuff. And I went into that post grunge band, and then after that, everybody wanted me to do vocals, and I forgot how to play almost everything. And I hate doing vocals. I hate it. I've never liked being a front man, but somehow I always end up.
You can hate it and still be damn good at it.
Yeah,
and obviously you were, or they wouldn't have invited you to do so.
Yeah.
But I've got nephews that okay, it's funny. They're brothers, and it's funny because Christian, the younger one, he worked at guitar until he learned it, and he did everything. He got offered scholarships to go to college. He got that good. His older brother Peyton can play guitar, bass, drums, all of it, and never just picks it up and goes with it. He's that person that put a musical instrument in his hands, and he, within just a short amount of time, will have it down. And it drives his little brother crazy because he had to work at it so hard to get as good as he is. But the last time I saw them, and it's been several years back, they came down here because they were playing in a biker bar. And they're like, "You're going to come see us?" I'm like, "Yes, I will come see you." And they do scream metal. So we're in this biker bar with all these old bikers. And I'm like, yeah, I bet they weren't expecting this when they booked it. So, but, I mean, hey, they enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching them. Like I said, I have to seriously be in the mood for that kind of music. But just watching them do it and enjoy it made it worthwhile.
I don't know. I sucked at it. I wasn't good at it. Tully's a really good musician. He's a really good guitar player.
You're a hell of a lyricist.
Yeah.
For the record.
Good. Yeah. I can write stuff. People don't think I know how to spell, but I can write.
Hey, that's it right there.
That's all you gotta know.
So everything I have seen so far that you have written, I absolutely love. So good job.
I appreciate it. I was going to show a video of one of these bands I was in, but I can't find it, so I'm not going to.
That's okay. If you come across it, then we'll jump in.
I don't think people's interested in it.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump into some Fringe stuff. So picture this. You picturing it? I'm gonna build a picture in your mind. So it's Australia. It's 1932. And the Great Depression's in full swing. Farmers in Western Australia are already struggling to make ends meet when roughly 20,000 emus, those giant ass birds, decide their freshly planted wheat fields look like an all-you-could-eat buffet. So every day, these birds marched across the countryside, trampling fences, devouring crops. They were leaving devastation in their wake. And then to make matters worse, the damaged fences allowed rabbits to pour into the fields and finish off whatever the emus missed. The farmers were desperate and they pled with the government to help them. And finally, the Australian military was called in. Okay, what could possibly go wrong? So the government dispatched soldiers armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and around 10,000 rounds of ammo. The operation was led by Major GPW Meredith, who likely assumed this would be one of the easiest military campaigns in Australian history because, these weren't enemy soldiers, they were birds, and they were really big birds. So, targets. The plan was simple: find them, line them up, pull the trigger, and go home. Well, instead, the soldiers quickly discovered they were fighting what might be nature's greatest prank. The emus did not cooperate. Rather than traveling in one massive flock, they broke into dozens of smaller groups, making them difficult targets. They would sprint at speeds approaching 30 miles an hour, zigzagging unpredictably and scattering the instant they sensed danger. One observer joked that every flock seemed to have its own lookout bird that would warn the others when the soldiers got close enough to fire. So in one encounter, the soldiers found nearly 1,000 gathered in a field. They waited till the birds were within range before opening fire with the machine gun. And it should have been a massacre. After a handful of shots, the gun jammed. So the emus exploded in every direction, disappeared into the brush before the weapon could be cleared. The army had managed to turn what should have been target practice into a scene that looked out like a Benny Hill sketch or something. So they weren't going to be discouraged. They tried mounting one of the machine guns to the back of a truck so they could chase the birds across the countryside. Sounded brilliant on paper, but in reality, the truck bounced violently over the rough ground, making accurate shooting nearly impossible. The driver couldn't keep up with the emus. The gunner couldn't stay on target. And before long, everyone involved realized they were essentially losing a high-speed chase to birds. So Major Meredith reportedly developed a grudging respect for his feathered opponents. He compared the emus to well-trained soldiers, noting how resilient they seemed to be. Some birds reportedly continued running even after being struck by bullets, while others escaped into the scrub before succumbing to their wounds. Stories grow, but they still thought this was going to be an easy campaign. So after several weeks of frustration, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and surprisingly few confirmed kills, the operation became a public embarrassment. Newspapers gleefully reported on the military's inability to defeat a flock of oversized birds. Politicians were mocked. Cartoonists had a field day. And eventually the government withdrew the soldiers and conceded defeat. So the emus carried on exactly as they had before. The farmers eventually turned to more practical solutions like stronger fencing and bounty programs, which proved far more effective than military intervention. In later years, there were additional requests to send the army back, but the government wisely declined. Apparently, once you lose a war to birds, you just don't need a rematch. Yeah. So today, the Great Emu War has become one of history's favorite examples of reality being stranger than fiction. Technically, it wasn't much of a war. It was a pest control operation that spiraled into one of the funniest misadventures of the military ever recorded.
Emus are dangerous.
Yes. Have you watched Jumanji, the second one with The Rock and Kevin Hart?
No.
There is a scene where they are getting ready to do something, and this huge flock of emus come across a damn hill and just are after them. And, they get close enough to grab at them and everything else. So, yeah.
I mean, the only time I've ever been around an emu, I grew up next to a guy that had ostriches. Mm-hmm. But the only time I've ever been around an emu was at this horrible zoo in Gatlinburg. And they sound like dinosaurs, like legit dinosaurs. It's nuts. It's kind of scary.
They are now saying that dinosaurs are actually their closest living relative are birds.
Yeah. If you believe in dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I guess that would make sense. I bet they tasted good.
I would think so. Probably a lot like chicken.
Yeah, it have to be like chicken, right? If it was a bird. Poultry. Gamey.
Yeah. All right. What you got?
Well, let's see. I had to put everything together pretty quick. The Demon Leech of the Congo.
Oh, I don't know that one.
We'll start in the dense swamps of Central Africa. Unlike famous Congo cryptids like the molecular membe, the demon leech is almost unknown. The story describes a gigantic leech living in remote marshes and waterways deep within the Congo basin. According to legend, it wasn't just oversized. It was said to grow several feet long and as thick as a person's arm. Ooh, that's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Witnesses claimed that it could latch on to large animals crossing shallow waters, draining enough blood to kill them. Some stories even suggest it could attack people who wandered too close to isolated swamps. Now, here's what makes this cryptid unusual. Giant leeches do exist in nature, but they're nowhere near this size. This thing was known to be several feet long, not measured in inches. That means the demon leech would represent a dramatic leap beyond anything recognized biology. The biggest problem, though, is nobody has pictures of it or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know the Congo is vastly unexplored.
Yep.
So it's untelling what's out there. Same with the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the demon leech. The demon leech.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't have a fear of a lot of stuff. The leeches creep me out. So yeah, I don't need a demon one. I don't need a big one.
I found that video. If you guys want to see me get embarrassed,
Yeah.
So to reference this was a band that I was in that was doing a cover of a band that I had been in with Tully. And it's a very short one.
You were covering Tully?
No, I was covering a band I was in with Tully with a new
with
band.
Tully. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Tully's not in this, but he wrote the song like on guitar. Him and my buddy Andy. It's not very good quality. This is when this was the day Manchester, Kentucky went wet. We were playing in the pavilion. Let's see. All right. You probably can't hear it good either.
Yeah, I can hear it.
And that's it. That's all you get. I'm so embarrassed to watch that. I was extremely inebriated. But anyway, that was a song that Tully wrote on guitar that a band I was in covered.
I like it. Oh, come on. Okay, but I am like totally locked up, so I'm going to let you talk while I see if I can fix this.
Let's see. Did I cover the purple sky theory last week?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. I still got one left over in the chamber from last week. So look outside. The sky is blue. It's one of the few things humans almost never question. But what if it wasn't always blue? What if we used to bathe under a purple sky? Now I'm talking about the purple sky theory, y'all. According to believers, Earth's sky was once a vivid shade of purple. Some claim that this changed after an ancient global catastrophe. Others argue powerful civilizations deliberately altered the Earth's atmosphere. Still, others believe history itself was rewritten to erase all evidence of humanity once lived beneath a violet sky. The theory often begins with one simple observation. Many ancient cultures associated the color purple with divinity, royalty, and heaven. Mm-hmm. So do you think these these traditions could be remnants of a forgotten reality? I believe so. Some supporters point to old paintings that appear to be unusually colorful. They highlight myths describing strange skies. Some even examine photographs from the late 19th century, claiming unusual coloration proves that the atmosphere once looked different. Others bring astronomy into discussion. Scientists believe early Earth, billions of years ago, long before humans existed, may have indeed had different atmospheric chemistry. And some researchers have explored whether primitive microorganisms could have produced purple pigments, given their surface a more purplish appearance from space. But they're talking about billions of years ago. What we're talking about is in more recent times that's possible as the 1900s. So it does move that timeline. And believers claim that something dramatic happened only 100 or maybe even thousands of years ago. Perhaps a planetary disaster, maybe even hidden technology, perhaps intervention from ancient civilization. Who knows? Some versions merge with another theory called the Great Reset, which we talked about before. According to these narratives, humanity periodically experiences global catastrophes, which we do know that happens. Humans have been almost wiped off the face of the earth several times. After each one, history is rewritten. The blue sky becomes part of the rewritten narrative. And any paintings shown purple skies are dismissed as artistic styles by historians, but interpreted as historical evidence by believers. So when it comes to the purple sky theory, actually, after I researched that little part, I ran across. Oh, let's see, Morgana dropped down on me, but whenever I researched that theory, I did see a video pop up where there was a journal from a lady that passed away in 1940 that was discovered, where she talked about the dancing purple sky. And at nighttime, you could look up in the sky, and it was, of course, purple at night, and it's had a purple hue during the day in the 1800s. But at nighttime, the sky became alive with the stars dancing, is the way that she explained it. And air quality kind of sent a vibration through you, like a good vibration. So we do know that the earth loses oxygen year after year. So if you go back hundreds of years, it's completely possible that, with the more pure oxygen and things floating around the sky, the sky could have had a purple hue. It's 100% something that could have happened, I believe. So that's the purple sky theory.
Well, I knew I was doomed when you said something about believers, and then you went, oh. Okay. And everything shut down. I'm like, okay, I guess it's time for me to reboot. Yeah. But I'm going to have to look up the purple sky theory because that fascinates me.
It's pretty cool. It's a really cool theory. And like I was telling them before you hop back on, with the oxygen purity being so high back then, it's completely possible it could have had a deeper blue tint that would have.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that there are places you can go that have oxygen bars where you can inhale pure oxygen.
Yeah.
So could you imagine living like that?
It'd been nice. Mm-hmm. Walking around feeling good all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we had the purity of the oxygen back then mixed with the medical stuff we have now, the drugs to keep us alive from infection? We may actually live to be 300, 400 years old.
That's true. That's very true. I mean,
But do you want to live that long?
I don't. I do not. I can remember in my younger days, when I played with the thought that, vampires could be real. And I still believe that there's, I believe there's so much that's possible because there's so much we don't know. But I wouldn't want to be one. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, yeah, that'd be cool, live forever. No. I watched the Highlander series, and that kind of started abusing me of that. So
Mandy wants to become a vampire. She wants me to become a vampire with her. Yeah. Well, I mean, I could get behind the not ever seeing the sun again. I don't like going out in the sun anymore.
Same. I've never liked it because I get migraines, and I learned to hate the sun very early on in life, and it's no better. I still hate the sun. I like it overcast. I like it in the wintertime. I hate summer. I'm that person, and I have no regrets, and there's nothing you can say. If you like it, that's good for you, but it is not my thing. So, To each his own.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's funny. I'm a graphic designer. You know that. We sit in a dark room at all times, and people come in and they're like, "Wow, why is it so dark?" And I always say, "Because we're vampires." And people just look at me like, "What?" I'm like, hey, we don't like the light. It is, as an industry, unless you're in a more corporate environment, most graphic design departments are dim, or ours is completely black. We have credenza lights and desktop lamps, but we do not have our overhead lights on more than once a month. Somebody will come in, "Hey, I need the lights," and flip them on, and we're all like,
I don't know what it is. Mandy likes it dark, but if it's dark, I can't see anything. If it's dark, I can still type because I can find my home row keys by feel. But if I'm looking for something, like that's not on the screen or on this keyboard, I can't find it.
Yeah, Mo's the same way. He's definitely night blind.
Yeah, I can't see a damn thing. It pisses me off. Like she'll have it dimmed in there, and I'll be looking around, and I'm like, "Where's the remote at?" And she's like, "It's right there." I'm like, "Where?" Like right here. I'm like, "Reach it to me. I can't see it."
Yeah, that sucks too. It really does. Because like I said, especially when it's something that, if you've not always been that way, because that's what aggravates him, is he used to not be that way.
Me either.
So, all right, imagine this. It's January 1897 in Rome. Okay. The papacy is a political minefield. Kings, emperors, noble families, rival bishops, they're all fighting for power. Popes aren't just the religious leaders back then. They're political players. They can crown emperors, legitimize rules, and they influenced everything. Well, one of those popes was Formosus. He made a lot of enemies during his life. Some accused him of switching political allegiance. Others believed he had accepted the papacy illegally. Don't know whether those were genuine accusations or simply the excuses used by his rivals. Depends on who you ask. So he died in 896 and was buried at St. Peter's Basilica, as popes are. And that should have been the end of the story. But it wasn't. So 9 months later, a new pope, Stephen VI, came into power. And for reasons that are still debated today, Stephen hated Formosus with an almost unbelievable intensity. It could have been that he was acting on behalf of a political ally that Formosus, had pissed off. So Stephen did something that no one had ever done before. He ordered the guy's body dug up. Not his writings or his records, the actual corpse. And then they put the corpse on trial. So the body had been buried for months. They dug him up, put him back in his papal robes. Then he was placed on a throne inside the basilica. And then a church trial was convened. A decomposing corpse sat in the defendant's chair. And because dead bodies generally aren't very talkative, a deacon was appointed to answer questions on behalf of the corpse. So, they're standing around arguing on behalf of somebody who's been dead for almost a year. So Stephen accused the dead pope of several things, including accepting the papacy illegally, violating church law by becoming Bishop of Rome after already serving as bishop elsewhere, perjury, and abuse of office. And then Stephen reportedly screamed at the corpse throughout the entire proceeding. The verdict was never really in doubt. The dead man was found guilty. So this is where it gets stranger. The vestments were stripped from his body. The 3 fingers of his right hand, the fingers traditionally used to give blessings, were cut off. Every official act he had performed as pope was declared invalid. His body was first buried in an unmarked grave, and then he later had him dug back up and thrown into the Tiber River. And then people started saying, okay, you've probably gone a little too far. So even people in medieval Europe thought that was a little bit excessive. the citizens were horrified, not the political people, but your average Joe. And then Stephen VI was overthrown. He was imprisoned. A few months later, he was strangled to death in prison. Okay, according to later tradition, monks recovered Formosis's body from the Tiber. Story spread that miracles occurred wherever the body rested. Subsequent popes reversed the cadaver synod's ruling. Formosus was officially restored as legitimate pope, and then the cadaver synod, which was the trial, was condemned. And, okay, it wasn't really a trial about a dead man. It was about power. That's all it comes down to. And here's the thing. He's not the only one that was tried after death. Oliver Cromwell was dug up, hung, and beheaded years after he had been, after he had died. John Wycliffe, his bones were exhumed and burned 40 years after he died because the church declared him a heretic. So the Middle Ages were crazy.
The Middle Ages were insane. I'm under the firm belief, though, like the Dark Ages didn't happen at all. We've talked about that, but the Middle Age, like the medieval times, like the period that happened where the castles and whatnot supposedly came from, they were a little off the rocker. But is that like a civilization that's kicked into a different form of consciousness and just doesn't understand everything that they're seeing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yep.
But who knows? Who knows what their ideals were? And it was still pretty early on in history too, and they were trying to make they were basically trying to make a religion, and they were just trying to make it up as they go along so they could have full power.
Yep.
I mean, so
absolutely, more people have been killed in the name of God than for any other reason.
For sure, that's what the majority of wars are over. Except now it's oil.
Yeah, or covering up some records.
Yeah, oil resources covering stuff up. Like that.
It's crazy.
It happens.
They need to let us be in charge for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, Kinder.
I'm too. I mean, Ronnie, the question of current times are real. It's really hard to say. What's up, Wicked?
This is the first time in many years that I've wondered if being on heavy drugs isn't a good idea. Just kind of haze through it because
everything.
I don't like this timeline.
Have you seen this, by the way? Hang on. We've covered this in Mandela Effects, by the way. So, Chick-fil-A, right?
Okay.
How do you spell it?
CHICK-FIL-A.
All right. That's what it's back to. But Tolly and I talked about this, and we've done so many Mandela Effect episodes and covered this that it was CHIC-FIL-A. But after they turned off CERN, it's back to Chick.
And I'll be honest with you, I do not eat at Chick-fil-A, so it could definitely have been something different. I'd have never noticed it.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some things, like, you remember I sent you that video of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, before you go there, ask the general public.
What was Charlie, where did Charlie get his gold ticket? What was he consuming to get his gold ticket?
What did Grandpa Joe and the family buy him for his birthday?
Yeah, what did they get him?
Yes, Crystal, CERN definitely messes with things. But yeah, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, let's make sure we're on the right one.
The new one.
What did they give him as a gift so that they could help him win the golden ticket?
Yes, chocolate bar.
A couple
a couple weeks ago, right before they turned off CERN, there was a new Mandela effect, and there was video supporting it. And I sent it to the group. I think I showed it on here, where it was a whoopie pie, like in the book.
Yep.
A whoopie pie is similar to a moon pie. And he showed it to the family, and it was obviously a whoopie pie.
But I remember him, after he opened it, breaking off pieces and sharing it.
Well, good news is it's back, because I've been going back to the Mandela effects that we've covered ad nauseum, and a lot of them have reverted back to what they were since the last time we covered them.
Really?
Is that not strange?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is. And Kinder, we actually talked about the Great Emu War of Australia. That was the first thing we talked about tonight.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's very strange.
Yes. Because like I said, you sent the video, and I'm like, this is bullshit. But yeah, I mean, it is clearly a whoopie pie. And that bothers me, because I'm a huge Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fan. I'm sorry, when Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I don't like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
When the Berenstein Bears go back to Berenstein.
Yeah, Berenstein. Yeah.
I'm going to flip my shit.
Hello, Angel. Yeah, that's crazy. And, there's no telling how many more will come up throughout this year, because they did just turn CERN off.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the end of the year so we can do our beginning of the year episode on the new Mandela effects. Because, there's going to be some. All right. So what if somebody had told you that the CIA once spent millions of dollars trying to turn cats into spies?
I believe it.
You sure we're not talking about a bad Austin Powers movie? So during the height of the Cold War, the United States was desperately searching for new ways to gather intelligence on the Soviet Union. Because this is when everybody was experimenting with everything from spy pigeons and exploding seashells. Well, somebody in the CIA looked over at a cat and went, that could work. So, and I love this, the project was known as Operation Acoustic Kitty.
Yeah.
And it began in the early 60s. So the idea was surprisingly straightforward. Cats are everywhere. They wander through parks, around embassies, between people sitting on benches, and nobody pays them attention. Unlike a person that's lurking in the background. You're going to point that out. Cats, They don't care. So the CIA wondered if it could transform an ordinary house cat into an undercover operative. So what they did was they enlisted veterinarians and engineers to perform a series of delicate surgeries. A tiny microphone was implanted inside the cat's ear canal. A miniature radio transmitter was placed near the base of its skull, and a thin antenna was woven between or beneath the fur and along the tail so it could remain hidden. And considering the technology available in the early 60s, it was a huge engineering accomplishment. So everything had to be made incredibly small and light, years before the ages of smartphones and microelectronics. Except cats are still cats. Unlike dogs, they aren't particularly interested in following orders. The CIA reportedly spent years trying to train them to walk to specific locations, remain near conversations, and ignore distractions like birds, squirrels, food, or just the desire to wander off and do what cats do. And, if you've ever lived with a cat, this is hilarious. I mean, because cats, they're cats. So eventually the agency believed it had a cat ready for its first real mission. So according to the popular version of the story, the CIA handlers released the cat near a park in Washington, D.C., where two men believed to be connected to the Soviet embassy were sitting on a bench. The mission had barely begun when the cat wandered into the street and was struck by a passing taxi. ending the operation almost immediately. That is not funny because of what happened to the cat. That's tragic. But the fact that after all that time and all that money, it gets hit by a cab.
It's insane. I mean, it's untelling what they do with them. You know, we got a special guest that's wanting to hop on. Let's get them on here. Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Great. It's good to see your face.
I thought
It has been a long day.
Oh.
I thought you still drinking mojitos on the beach with some mofo.
Oh no. No, I was in the depths of it today, dude.
You missed it. I played a snippet of the band I was in that covered the band that we was in.
Nice.
Fringe Friday.
What's up, everybody? Ronnie, Landa, Crystal, Jenny.
Wicked's here too.
Oh, Wicked. What's up, dude?
Sure is.
No, I just got in and was like, yeah, I'll jump on for a few minutes, see what
That's
everybody's
awesome.
doing. What do you talk? I don't even know what you're talking about. I think
We didn't tell you, but we was going to the Tennessee Children's Home Society, and you put Fringe Theory.
I forgot to tell you. It's my fault.
So we pivoted, and I actually did research because chat sucked at everything to do with this, by the way. Couldn't do research. So I had to type out this huge long thing that I was going to cover. I was like, oh, we can pivot. No big deal. I went up and hit X, and I said, no, don't save. And I didn't save it. But Morgana seen it before I deleted it.
I did.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're just talking Fringe stuff. We talked about the great Australian Emu War. We talked about the Pope that they dug up and tried and convicted. Purple Sky Theory. There was something else. Oh, we just got through talking about Operation Acoustic Kitty.
Yeah, Acoustic Kitty.
got you.
Yeah, like kitty spies back in the day.
I mean, you could have still did the children's home, but
yeah, but
if Cecil hadn't have lost everything.
literally, when I did it, I was trying to minimize it. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, let me minimize this." I hit X and don't save just instinctively, and I went, "Well, we can't do it any damn way."
You know, while we were traveling and stuff, I had one of our mutual normal friends who's not into anything send me a random text about the Publishers Clearinghouse Mandela effect. And her brain was rotten, like out of her head about it. Like I was just like, this isn't possible. Like I clearly remember Ed McMahon or whatever his name was. And I was like, no,
going to people's doors.
Going to people's doors, yeah.
We actually did just talk about Willy Wonka in the new Mandela.
There's a lot of them resetting.
Yeah, the Chick-fil-A one's back to normal. Cecil told me about that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But I'm like, in our old episodes where we're talking about this, are we just pointing at the right thing now?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like because we've covered that extensively.
Okay,
Ronnie,
somebody's going to have to go back and watch.
Ronnie, I can't find Dead Body Man HC. Let us know where to find it, and I'll listen to it.
One of my favorite bands of all time released an album spontaneously at midnight last night after a hiatus since 2016.
Yeah.
And I was stoked. Absolutely stoked. You know what? I'm so stoked that I haven't listened to it because I don't want to miss like the feeling of listening to it for the first time. So I'm like holding on to it, like not wanting to listen to it.
Told he's gonna get Rachel Watt and Cash and be like, get out of here and turn all
yeah. It needs to be like prom acoustics.
Hey, I asked you a question earlier. I didn't know if you were on or not, but I figured if you were, I would ask you. But since you didn't answer, I'm assuming you weren't. Do you like any grunge from the early 90s?
Yeah, the same about the same bands that Cecil does. We have similar tastes in music.
Yeah. Well, she said you didn't like Soundgarden. I love Chris Cornell, but I didn't like Audio Slave.
I'm the opposite. I like Audio Slave and not Soundgarden.
I
But
didn't
I
like,
wouldn't
like them
consider
both.
Soundgarden grunge either.
yeah, they were grunge.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a huge Tom Morello fan.
I
And-
don't consider them grunge at all, actually.
I think the reason I didn't like, honestly, I think the reason I didn't like Audio Slave is simply because I was pissed off that Rage broke up at the time.
Mhm.
And it wasn't less about the music and more about my principles. I was like, fuck you.
I understand that. I
And
like
maybe,
stuff like that.
you know, I might be getting it twisted too, because I also consider maybe I'm thinking more of like the tail end of grunge too, because
grunge.
Post grunge.
yeah, post grunge, like I don't even know what you would consider. I mean, who would you consider like the pioneers of grunge?
Nirvana.
Huh? What was that? Honey. What was that name of that band? Honey.
Why do you have to ask questions like that?
Can't remember the
Put me
name
on
of
the spot.
I know that I know obviously that people consider Nirvana grunge. I would say my big one is what Ronnie just said.
Alice in Chains. Yeah.
I would consider them, like, to me, and I could be way off, that
Mudhoney. When did Mudhoney come out?
that's what Wicked's been saying, and Ronnie just said it too.
Yeah, Mudhoney. Yeah, they were out in '88. I would say that too. Yeah, that's always something I remember from Tommy Boy.
For me personally, and my listening tastes, Alice in Chains was that entry point into, like, I would consider Alice in Chains such a better band than Soundgarden.
Oh yeah,
And like I said, I love Alice in Chains. I mean, absolutely. And I like Pearl Jam is another one that I personally, it will always be one of my favorites.
I like old school STP too.
Yeah.
Before she was lonely girl, like before that.
The post grunge, some of the post grunge stuff was right up there with the originals. Like everything's old enough now to where some post grunge bands I would consider better than maybe some of the quote unquote founding grunge members.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a listening audience that's older, like from at least mid-30s up. So wrap your noggin around this. Corn is now like the Stones were when we were kids. You know what I mean? Like they're legendary band.
Ronnie. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, it's just one of them deals. Like, we all have similar. Me and Cecil definitely have similar tastes in music, and Morgana's not too far off.
Thank you for that.
I just there's some stuff that I don't like. Like, I've never liked Rage Against the Machine. We talked about that this morning.
Yeah.
I hate that whole. It has nothing to do with what they're saying. It's definitely the music.
You don't like to, and see, like I said, you know, and that was more with me. Like I said, you know, with them, like I said, I have to be in the mood for Rage. But like I said, I'm a huge Tom Morello fan. I mean, I love listening to him play guitar. And that's probably why I listen to him as much as I do. I'm not crazy about dude's voice. But like I say, I mean, they've got good messages, and I like Tom Morello.
I had a my whole listening during flights this year was I listened to the entire discography of Tool. And
I like Tool.
I hadn't done that. I hadn't listened like from album one, song one through the end in a long time.
Yeah. So
it had probably been 10 years since I listened to the entire discography through and through. And that was a good experience while flying this year.
This is very unpopular too amongst people that like grunge. I do like grunge, but I do not like Pearl Jam.
Me either.
That's fine. Like I said,
at all. At all.
That's fine.
Mandy loves Pearl Jamming when she's playing. I'm like, is that Eddie Bedwetter?
And you know who else that's kind of like if Pearl Jam and Rage Against the Machine was like the same, like one band. I went to see Mastodon one time, and they were opening for Promise, and I left after Mastodon's. After they stopped, I left.
I just like Les Claypool. He's a badass bass player, and I like playing bass.
No arguments there.
Yeah.
But the music just ain't for me.
Yeah, and like I say, I just wondered because I know there have been a couple of times when you're like, oh God, I hate them, and I'm like, what do you like anything? Because some people don't. Some people hate that entire and I know it's sacrilege. I'm not a Nirvana fan, and I know a lot of people that was the band from that era. I
definitely love somebody that's good friends with Promise, which is Buckethead.
Yeah,
Buckethead is one of my all-time favorite guitarists.
We went.
I was gonna say, all of his is instrumental, isn't it? Has he actually? Because, like I said, I love it. That's why I like him, because I mean, I get in the mood for instrumental, and he's perfect for it.
I ruined Tully's night one night because at the time I was secretly dying and didn't know it. I thought I was just having bad back pains. We went and watched Buckethead, and I was like, I can't stand anymore. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And we was there forever.
Well, yeah, he just gets up there, like he'll get up there and just shred for 2 hours. And somebody's running behind his amps to hit all the pedals.
Yeah.
But he is insane to watch live. If it's worth the show.
Cool.
I've been getting real into stuff I listened to when I was like 13 and 14 again, like Cold Chamber.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know. I always revert back to that at least for a year.
Well, so the band that released the album last night, they've been around since 2006.
Yeah.
And this is only their 5th album.
Mm-hmm.
To put that into perspective, Buckethead has a lot more albums than what you would think, because he's known for like the Guitar Hero stuff and blah blah blah, but I think he has well over 100 albums that he's put together.
Cool. I did not find that many when I was looking up his music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's up in the hundreds for sure. Yeah, well, Wicked. Yeah, that's kind of maybe our tastes are a little bit more extreme because it goes way past the Beach Boys into like Robert Johnson, old muddy blues, and then it goes all the way to like Lorna Shore, which is like the heaviest music on the planet.
Well, I really like Lil Walter. He's a really good guy. And yeah.
I don't think the link will work there unless you send it as a private chat, Ronnie. Isn't that what our experience has been? In order for the link to work, you have to put it in private chat.
Can he send a private chat? I don't know.
I don't know.
He can't send private chat.
Well, shit.
Tell me where to find it. I'll find it. I'll find this shit right now.
Or you could put the link in here and then
be careful playing the music though.
Yeah, I didn't say play the music on here. Just drop the link here, and then that way y'all can see it.
We'll listen to the music after the show.
There you go. That's it. Faith No More. Do you know in 98, Apple came out with the Mac G3. It was this funky looking little diamond shaped computer, and it came in all these wild colors, and it was see-through. And everyone that came out had one song loaded in iTunes, and it was Epic by Faith No More.
Oh, really?
Yep. Sure was. It's to this day that song is on my playlist because that's where I heard it for the first time, because it was the year they released it.
I thought they used to be a little bit more underground than that. I didn't realize they were like.
Never heard of them until then.
That's like this is gonna date me, but the PSP, all PSPs, which is the PlayStation Portable that came out around PS2, era ish, they all had 3 days grace on them, like music videos, and it was like in 180p.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Faith Epic came out in 1989.
Ronnie, just drop the link in there and I'll just type it out. I don't give a shit for that. It won't let me copy and paste, but I'll type it out. I don't care.
Yeah, that is crazy wicked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've of course, like my generation of music was. I think everybody's like locked in generation of the music they truly love the most is between like 12 and 20, probably, or 12 and 17. That's when your teen angst are at its peak. Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's some bands that I found in my late 20s that I love to this day.
Well, I mean, you was listening to NSYNC until you're 17.
True.
I mean, which I listened to them in the 6th grade.
Do they sing "I Want It That Way"?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, love those guys.
No. Like I said, I'm all over the place. All right. Are we going to stay with music or are we going back into the fringe?
Who's your favorite rapper?
Right
Mine?
now.
Of all time.
I am not a rap fan.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know.
Rock your ball.
My favorite rapper of all time is Juicy J. Of the 3-6 Mafia and Juicy J himself.
I don't have a favorite rapper, I don't think.
I mean, on principle, I love Snoop just because he tickles me. Yeah. You know, just some of the shit he comes out with. But
Juicy J just keeps it simple. He talks about simple stuff. And
okay,
he's an OG.
I don't like original gangster rap. I mean, I just don't, never did.
Well, but, CIA operatives.
Huh?
CIA operatives is what it was.
Yeah, iBox. That's a solid choice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like his later stuff. His early stuff I did not like, but I like the last 10 years. I love Eminem. I like Macklemore.
Stop.
But I really don't consider him rap. I really don't consider him rap. I mean, you know, I know.
You know, the year that song came out, they had him at Bonnaroo, and I was there, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
I hate that particular song, for the record. I hate that song, but I like a lot of his music.
My favorite rapper is Asher Roth.
And I think here's the thing: the reason I didn't like it, the earlier stuff, and like I said, I'll listen to it as long as I'm in the right headspace to listen to it. But when they started rapping in rock songs and stuff, I like that better because I still get music with it, not just pure rap.
Well, I think that's why Cecil likes hip hop. Because there's a lot of music in hip hop that accompanies the rap. But
I really like hip hop a lot.
We get into weird stuff though. Like we went through a phase where we were listening to like Afghanistan folk music.
Lord, how did I miss that?
They're called Tinarawin. What's some other weird stuff we go through phases where we've listened to some crazy stuff.
Tom McDonald, when I first heard Tom McDonald, I liked him for about 4 songs, and then I was like, because it seemed like he was kind of like talking to like conspiracies a little bit and whatnot, and like how they were trying to create racial divide and all this jazz, and then it just kind of got stupid. He tried to infiltrate the hip hop movement. And it wasn't that good. If you're not listening to Broadnax, though, Broadnax is a crazy guy. He's awesome. And
I'm trying to think of
Jay
other,
Wick's good.
other weird stuff that we've listened to.
I like the Frogs, man.
I do like all of who is that? You used to listen to a guy with a big funny hat, and I can't remember his name. He had like a big yellow. It looked like Cat in the Hat, except that I think it had a question mark or something on it. He
Surprisingly, there was like 8 people that I listened to that could be referring to. Was it rap or what was it?
It was its own thing, dude. This guy was. Yes,
Muck
it was.
Yeah, Muck Sticky's good. Where's the girl that wants the wiffle ball back?
that guy was so weird. So weird.
Where's the dicker at?
What else?
I have a coworker. Anytime she sends me something that says you should listen to this and it's music, just walk away because it's going to be shit like that. What does the fox say?
No.
Yeah.
It was never anything weird like that.
Yeah.
I also listened to a lot of like Spanish music.
Hey,
like there's some absolute bangers.
I have like 2 or 3 albums of mariachi music. So,
I like elements of mariachi.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the upbeat. I like the more soulful.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then I like the batos also that rap. Like I definitely like Spanish rap as well.
The closest thing to EDM or techno I listen to is mindless self-indulgence. Like, I'm not a big fan of it.
There's a dude on TikTok. I don't know if you're on TikTok, Oddbox. A lot of people ain't. But there's a channel. This dude goes live every Sunday and sometimes through the week. And he's got, if you're into EDM and techno, you know that the tools of that trade is anything Moog.
Yeah.
This guy has a stack. Like he has a wall of Moog OG synthesizers. So the whole time you're getting to see his hands and he's like plugging and playing and he's got cameras everywhere. He's got a great setup and his music is fire. Like it's really good. His name, let me get it. I don't care to plug him.
I'd like that name also.
Because it's something you can put on in the background too, and you can just let it ride.
Okay. I am, and I don't care if you judge me, I'm a huge fan of Enigma, the band Enigma.
Enigma?
Yeah. And back in the 90s, do y'all remember when they had the whole big outbreak of Gregorian monk music?
I like that too. Yeah.
They would take like, a police song and make it Gregorian chant and stuff.
Yeah. I like the Gregorian stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to do that stuff like vocally and I cannot get it to work.
All right. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Cool.
So you can have it. This is his handle on TikTok. And he's totally worth the follow.
To give you an idea.
What's up, Mandy?
What up, Mandy?
Hey.
Where's she at?
What was I saying? How did I miss her?
Are you talking about the Gregorian music, Kinder? Or did I miss? I might have missed it.
So before we come in here and get started, I always come in here and listen to music. Mm-hmm. This is what I was listening to: "Violent Nature" by I Prevail, "Fancy" by Reba McEntire.
See, those are both good.
Conway Twitty.
Hey, he's the man.
Then Archspire.
Not familiar with that one.
Then the Frogs. Then Sierra the Rapper. And I finished it off with Pantera.
See, that's my music list. That's how crazy it gets. But it's funny because I go to bed every night to either a book.
It's a Halloween shirt.
A book or music because I can't stand the quiet. So I've got to have something. Otherwise, my brain won't shut down. I'll sit there and think all night.
Ronnie,
But
Reba, you can't stand that ginger soul.
There's a. Let me see if I can find this. There was an 80s riff that I heard recently, and I was like, this sounds insane. And I went and listened to the actual song, and I'm like, how was this not huge in the 80s? And I guess it sort of was, but it's not somebody that you remember from the 80s as being like a crazy,
Clark, I think.
Crazy big band.
Jenny, I think it's talking about Roy Clark.
I think
right?
I can.
Yeah, Roy Clark.
I think I can play this riff without getting us. It's not the song; it's a riff. So
Mandy's in here hating on Reba. Why don't you go listen to Eddie Bedwetter or something?
All right, like this riff just sounds like it would be famous. And if somebody can name this song, then maybe it was bigger than what I'm thinking. But I'll play the riff, and if you were alive in the 80s, tell me if you recognize the riff.
Bite me.
Doesn't that sound like something
Who
that would
is
be
that?
Metallica.
No, it's not Metallica.
Is that not Metallica?
No,
it's not Metallica.
And the riff is slowed down. I'm afraid to say the name because I'm afraid we'll get struck by YouTube's AI if I say that. It's not Metallica. I'll put it in the chat and maybe the AI won't get us.
Okay.
Who Jenny's talking about? Roy Clark. You know who he is, right?
Hee-haw.
Yeah.
Picking and a grin. Dawkins. See, there you go. Yep.
Roy Clark was probably one.
Did they get as big as like? They didn't get as big as like Metallica though.
No, they didn't. I've seen them in concert, but no, they were not like Metallica. I would say.
Yeah.
Crap. I'm trying to remember who I saw him with. I think I saw him with Kiss, No Makeup Kiss.
Well, when I heard that riff, I'd never heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is fire. Like, so I went and listened to the full song.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie, I thought you said the 10 years, the band 10 years instead of the 10 years. After, I was like,
do you know when a lot of people that really didn't know who Dokken was, and then I think it was the third Freddy Krueger movie, that was the theme song was Dream Warriors by Dokken.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I'm glad I joined for music conversation. This is my jam.
I love talking about music. Maybe
I have seen Kiss with and without makeup.
I've only seen them with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them.
My very first concert when I was like 8 years old was Kiss with makeup.
I was on a free trip to New Orleans. So I was like, I'll watch whoever you want me to watch. Like,
right.
Mandy, she knows everything.
It was funny because I had a coworker a couple of years ago that took her 7-year-old to it was Kiss's like final tour a few years back, and I'm like, damn, you took her and she's only 7. And then I thought about the fact that I was only 8 when I saw him, and I'm like, never mind, just ignore me. So, but yeah, I have you know what, Ronnie, I cannot stand Gene Simmons, but I like Kiss's music.
Typically I don't like glam. The whole glam rock thing.
But see, I grew up through the 80s. In the 80s, you didn't have a choice but to like glam rock, or you didn't get to listen to anything.
But every now and again, just like that riff, like you'll hear something. I can't say that for Kiss, but
yeah,
every now and again from a glam band, you'll hear a riff, and it's like, how did they write that riff like in that state of mind?
The only thing good that ever came from Kiss was Dimebag Darrell. That's what.
Beth by Peter Criss.
I hate glam rock. I don't like. I hate everything to do with glam rock. I don't know why. I've tried
because you were too late. You were born a generation too late.
I didn't like Guns N' Roses. I didn't like Motley Crue.
The first time I saw Guns N' Roses and watched Axl Rose worm his way across the stage, I'm like, what the fuck is this? They were with they were with crap, who do we got to see? Motley Crue. And that's who I went to see. My little brother wanted to see Motley Crue, so that gave me an excuse to go. So, a whole load of us. And out of 20 people that went, one person with us had heard of Guns N' Roses. Nobody else who they were.
I'm trying to think if I could go back to any era, I'd probably go back to that. Like if I could go back and watch one show, it'd probably be that one Roy Clark show where everybody was there at the Grand Ole Opry and they played it out.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
There was just too many people on that stage to not go to that one.
Okay, I know you know what the Blues Brothers, the movie.
Yeah.
On the second one that they made in the early 2000s, when they go out to the swamp and they have all of those blues. Oh my God, I'd love to have been sitting in on that. I mean, everybody.
That's what I think would be maybe the best era of music for me to go and experience would be like the boom of Delta blues, like to be like in the Delta, like just listening to some old timers or like Roy Clark or somebody, which he was further north, but still.
See, I'm weird. Okay, I like super old country, like Hank Williams Sr., Patsy Cline, and then I like when outlaw country started getting real popular, Willie Whalen. Like I said, I grew up on Conway Twitty. That was my dad's favorite artist. We woke up every Sunday morning to that. So that's the kind I like. But that space between like the late 50s and late 60s of country music to me is the most horrendous music that was ever written. I hate it. I mean, nothing about it. I probably couldn't name you a song from that era off the top of my head because I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Crystal.
Yep.
I can't listen to all of this stuff. Like, I'm not listening to Afghani folk music at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got to be in the mood.
When you were talking about Tool, that's what I want to listen to, that kind of music when I'm pissed off.
All right, Ronnie, dude. Go have fun being a mod.
It was great having you, Ronnie.
Bro, if you want to mod something else, you can go mod our Twitch or something.
I don't know. I like it's. I don't even know if you call it country, but I really like this Appalachian folk. Coming out like Benjamin Joseph. I like him a lot.
That is absolutely true, Kinder. That Mongolian, I know exactly who he's talking about.
I haven't heard Mongolian metal. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's metal with the throat singing, like via breakdowns, and that's the stuff.
Is it the Hue? I think it is the Hue.
Hang on. It is.
Yeah, it's the Hue.
Yes, the Hue.
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
The Hue. Yeah.
There's all kinds of cool stuff out there if you allow yourself to go out and look around.
Well, that, and like I said, you can't. Okay, don't discount it just because, I'm not going to listen to that. because sometimes you'll be surprised.
Well,
if you're in the mood for a certain sound.
If anybody out there likes post rock, you should totally check out the band that I was talking about that just released the album at midnight. They've been around for 20 years, have only released 5 albums. They are signed, but they rarely tour. Like,
are you going to put their name in the chat so we know who you've been talking about?
Yes. Yeah. It's a lengthy name.
Okay.
I mean, we don't get paid anyway. We should just start playing some music videos. Why not?
I'm afraid they would cut the live stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you are into like post rock instrumental, super vibey background music that has breakdowns, go check them out.
That's it's funny. I was talking about earlier going to sleep to music or a book, but okay, I'm very picky about what I go to sleep to. And Mo and I have gone in rounds about it before because he just likes music when he's laying down. It cannot be upbeat or it keeps me awake. So it's got to be something, vibey, like post-industrial. That's the kind of stuff I like to go to sleep to.
You could put on the discography of this band and definitely have good sleep.
That, or I'll even go find biennial beats or something, something. It's got to be that certain vibe. Otherwise, I'm singing and wanting to bounce around. Bye, Jenny.
All right,
be
Jenny.
safe out there. But yeah.
Trying to think. Well, before the terrorist organization existed, there was a band called ISIS.
Yep.
And they, like, some of their albums are really good for that, like just vibing.
Yeah.
But some of it's super heavy too.
Kinder, I think every Deep Forest album out. So
it ain't that kind of rock music, Alan. It ain't that kind of rock music. Well, first of all, this doesn't have vocals either. So there's that. It's just super, like, the whole album you got to think of as a story. Like song 1 is the beginning and song 10 is the end.
That's why I liked Enigma so much, is because there's no pause on their albums. It's from the beginning to the end. And like I said, that I love that stuff. But like I said, I did like the Gregorian monks, but it was always a matter of what are they going to come up with next.
I'm definitely biased because the post-rock instrumental stuff is what I like to play too. So
Stray Light Run. No, but I will look them up.
I like metal too. I love metal, Alan.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, metals are root.
We're a bunch of heavy listening folks around here.
I think metals are root.
But sometimes people say that, and then we show metal.
Yeah,
and it's too heavy.
Well, there are variations of metal.
Yes, it depends on what you're talking about. Like if you consider metal only to be like Slayer, then you may not like some metal, because there's different like ditches of metal.
If you don't like me at my Slayer, don't love me at my Archspire.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavors.
Yep.
Deftones, Deftones.
What was your first concert?
Geez, I don't remember.
Maybe me. I don't. Maybe me. Yeah, I don't know that I saw anybody before I started playing shows.
Yeah, I did. I think mine was Machine Head.
No, we don't do Vanilla Ice, Angel.
Why not? Yeah, totally. I don't care.
Like I said, my first concert was Kiss. Like I said, I was 8. My first grown-up concert was Judas Priest.
I've seen Joan Jett.
It was awesome because he does. They do the entire concert. I think. No, it wasn't. Except Great White opened for him. And
my
then,
mom would. I'm sure they took me to something.
So Vanilla Ice actually, I don't know if you remember
Skinner.
this, but Vanilla Ice did come out with like a heavier version of Ice Ice Baby.
Do you want to know what my problem with Vanilla Ice is?
It's
Under
called-
Pressure for me is one of the best songs ever written, and he was sacrilege when he came out with Ice Ice Baby.
Well, he went new metal for a while, for a minute. And he redid Vanilla. He redid Ice Ice Baby as like a new metal song back in the day. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I never forgave him for that song. So
I wish I could play it. Oh my god, I might fuck yeah, I might play a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a first concert until I was an adult either, Crystal. But
Blue
you know what
October
though?
was good.
I would go to a Blue October show today.
I would
and
too.
People would make fun of me about it, but I totally would. There's some of those songs that are bangers.
I'm just going to share the screen, but I'm going to play just a second of this. If it'll let me.
What
So
maybe Between the Buried and Me.
Between the Buried and Me is awesome.
We went to Between the Buried and Me in 2008, 20 years ago ish.
We were in the DVD shoot for Colors.
Yeah, the original DVD shoot. Cecil and I were in that.
Yeah,
and that was both my first adult concert and the first one that I can remember going to. That wasn't a show that I was playing.
You're getting ready to trip out because I'm going to share my screen, and it's just going to be us like multiplied by 1,000. But let me know if you can hear this.
I'm not going to talk.
Can you hear that?
No.
Nope.
Did you hear that?
I can't hear me either.
Crap, hang on. Let me try. Because if you didn't know about Vanilla Ice going new metal, you are missing out. Let's see if it did it now. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
This.
Okay.
Okay, now see, I would have enjoyed that if that had been the version he'd have come out with.
That sounds like yeah, it is new metal.
It's new metal, is what it is. It's pretty good. I loved it. I had the CD.
See, yeah,
that was your first adult show, Mandy?
No, she went to a bunch before that.
Well, no,
She
she
said
said Leonard
Skinner.
Skinner. Never mind. I'm tripping.
But I mean,
I saw Skinner the first time that Johnny died. Right?
I can't remember. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
not the one to
the
ask.
brother that is still alive, I've seen in concert fronting Skinner 3 times and solo 1 time. The first time he actually sang Freebird in concert, because what they did every time before is he hung his brother's hat on the mic and they just did the music. In Jackson, Mississippi, because they were killed in Mississippi, was the first time he ever sang that song.
Yeah.
While live. Whole place was in tears.
That's crazy.
Whole place. It was awesome.
And
that's not even close to my favorite Skinner song. It's a good song, but it is not my favorite.
I've never been to Skinner. I watched Hank III a couple times.
Oh man, I would love that. I wish he would come out of retirement.
The first time I
I'd
watched,
go see him today.
the first time I watched him was actually in Hazard. It was this crappy place, but it was packed out, and like, I don't know, you could watch him go from the front of the stage to the back, and then like do this off of the back of her back out.
Following in Daddy's footsteps.
No, I think that's why he's retired. He don't live that kind of life no more.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
His
He
music,
sounded,
if you liked the first Hank Williams, you would
yes.
love the third Hank
Mhm.
Williams
You-
country music.
It's Conway Twitty. I had a coworker that got me to go see his son in concert. Okay, just but then his grandson got up there and it's same thing. His grandson sounded just like him.
Well, Hank
I
the
mean,
Third
mhm.
is
Yep,
outlaw country.
yep,
Like he's the epitome of
yeah,
outlaw country.
One
yeah.
of my
I like him.
one of my favorite concerts I went to was actually pretty small, but was for a pretty big guy. He's been ousted. He might not even be alive anymore. I think he's been in bad health. Was Unknown Henson.
He is alive and canceled.
Yeah, he's canceled. But when he would shred, man, it looked like his face was melting. It's nuts.
Something I thought was crazy is a couple years ago, one of Junior's sons also tried to get like on the music train.
There is
Mhm.
a fourth.
Is
and
there?
I
Yeah.
just, the third is all there is to me. Like
Mhm.
it ended with him unless somebody else starts outlaw country.
You know,
I
it's
think it's Coleman.
it's funny that generally when you go to a concert,
Yeah.
the opening band and the main attraction are similar in style,
Mm-hmm.
but I went and saw it was Crocus and Iron Maiden opening for 38 Special.
That's weird.
It was very weird because I like all three bands, but I mean, half the people didn't show up until 38 Special, started, and the other half left when 38 Special started.
Yeah,
because it's two totally different types of music.
That's kind of how it was the Mastodon Primus thing that I was
Mhm.
talking about.
Hank
Yep.
Hank Fourth just goes by 4, and he is actually Hank the Third's son.
Really, I
Yeah.
didn't realize he was old enough to have a son, but I guess
Oh,
I
yeah.
should have.
Yeah, he's old enough.
Yeah.
He's in his 50s, probably.
Okay. I've got a neighbor who travels around to see Lucas Nelson, Willie's son.
That'd be
And from the little bit I've heard, I don't think he sounds like Willie, but like I said, I mean, they literally, she even named her dog Lucas after him. That's how much of a fan she is.
I've had like 6 chances, Mandy, and I just don't do it.
I like Primus. Jerry was race car driver.
They were at Bonnaroo like 5 years I was there, and then they were at the last half of that Mastodon show, and we left before they came on.
That's talk about old school. My little brother back, it's been a while now, but he went, somebody gave him tickets to go see Bob Dylan and Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard was opening for Bob Dylan. He said Merle Haggard was one of the best concerts he'd ever seen. He said 2 songs into Dylan and I walked out. That was the worst damn song. The worst one he had ever seen. And he likes Bob Dylan, but he had never seen him without the album, the remixing and all that stuff. And it was just him up there singing and not very well.
Yeah, Mandy's seen Bobby D.
Mhm.
Old Bob Dylan. I've never seen Bob Dylan. I don't think I want to.
I'm not a huge fan of Bob Dylan.
He's a really great songwriter, but
I don't like him as a singer.
I'd rather go watch Tom Waits. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But I'm weird. I'm also I've never been a Metallica fan.
I hate Tom with passion.
I don't care for him either.
Well, I'm glad it's not just me because
I don't care for him
I've
either.
ill over that before. That and the other one that people give me hell over is I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan.
No, I do like I like some Led Zeppelin.
I like a few of their songs, but I can count those songs on one hand.
Ooh,
Loved Robert Plant solo.
you would love. So I've seen Robert Plant and John Paul Jones, but in separate bands.
Mm-hmm.
I saw John Paul Jones at Bonnaroo one year. He was playing mandolin and bass for a Delta blues player named C6 Steve. And I think he's from down your way. Like he's in Mississippi, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like legit blues. He one of the only legit blues players that I would consider to be like a master of their art at this point. Like good enough for John Paul Jones to come play bass with him.
That's we used to have a thing every year in Jackson called Zoo Blues, and it was literally outside of the zoo. They had a big stadium outdoors, and they would have blues bands come in. And the last time we were there,
You're booping.
Greg Allman, the Allman Brothers. That's why I went. But BB King showed up too. I'm so glad, because they had other people too. But I mean, it was just like BB King wasn't even scheduled and showed up. And it was just like, okay, my life has been made. That's my bucket list right there.
Yeah.
So it's just that particular. I think I don't care for that psychedelic era a ton. Like I said, I mean, there are songs I like, but I'm not crazy about a lot of those bands.
You don't like 13th Floor Elevators?
No. It is a special experience. Here's the thing. I think that it's some things. Okay. Back when I was young and stupid, I might have done a drug or two. I never tripped while doing acid, but I used to watch other people trip. And I always was like, why doesn't it affect me that way? But, whatever. But the movies Tommy and the Wall, for the first time ever, made sense to me while I was on acid. Just,
I'm real into, I don't know, I'm real into Hip Hop, and Mandy hates it.
I'm not a huge
I love Hip Hop. I like Broadnax, Jaywick, Denim Demon Jones, all those guys. They're fun.
Everybody's got their guilty pleasures. There you go.
One of my guilty pleasures, no joke, and Tully will make fun of me over this more than likely. Fall Out Boy. I really like Fall Out Boy.
I like Fall Out Boy, but
I personally
like stuff.
That doesn't resonate with me. However, I have bands like that I listen to that nobody really gets. There's bands that I listen to that you hate.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. You were talking about listening to Tool, their whole discography. Last week, mine was Theory of a Dead Man. I mean, I just started from their first album and just let everything start playing. I mean, that's what I was in the mood for.
There's a thing, and it could be where I feel like Cecil does this too, though. I'll go huge spans of time without listening to anything.
Yeah.
Like I drive in silence. I took 6 hours of silence to the Dome today.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't listen to anything today. 6 hours in a row. Just listening to my thoughts.
Yeah. I do that quite often, actually.
That's.
I don't know. I listen to podcasts though sometimes too when I'm in those states.
Sometimes
I listen to books.
I can't even do that.
I think that's like a trauma. I think that's like a trauma thing. Like you just sit there and recollect everything.
That's the reason I go to sleep to music or a book, because I won't sleep if I don't, because too much is going. And look, I will have full-on conversations with people. Okay, if I say this, then they're going to say that, and then I'm going to have to say this, and then, oh, hell no, let me say that. I mean, so yeah, I will replay everything that happened throughout the day or perceived things that might happen next month. So yeah, I can't do silence.
Well, I think I should at least be back some other time this month. Maybe we can do a watch party or hangout or something with everybody.
Well, next weekend, I think we're going to do Georgia Tan and the Memphis Children's
Yeah, I don't know. Has I saw odd box of bricks. Have they been coming around, or is it just?
No, she hasn't been around for a while. She's been in
Oh.
the middle of moving from Alabama to Washington State, so she's been
Oh.
off for a while. But yes, they 4.5 days across country this week, relocating.
We'll have to pick a day, like maybe later in the month or something. And well, I say later in the month. There's only a few Saturdays left.
Yeah. It's the middle of the month, Tully.
We could do the 18th or the 25th, maybe.
Bye, Mandy.
Bye, Mandy. I'll
See you, Mandy. We'll figure it out. We'll do a watch party or something.
Yeah. I'm going to have to completely retop everything that I've done.
Well, yeah, I wasn't saying that to take away from the Friday shows. I'm just
No,
I don't
not
know
at
when,
all. Not at all.
because I'm going to be traveling again next weekend for sure. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to join you guys on Fridays again.
That's all good.
It's all right. We got this until you can come back. But we were actually last Friday night talking about we've got this special guest that we're going to have some weekend. His name's Tully. And then you showed up this week. So see?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've logged some hours today in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
We spent like 12 hours traveling yesterday.
So you went to Manchester and back today? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I didn't get a stop by or nothing. That's cool.
I was in Manchester before 11 o'clock today.
I mean, it's only 10 minutes away from the interstate. But
okay, somebody drove from New Orleans across to for my work.
If I drove across America, I would probably spend the 10 minutes.
You would probably got pissed off though if you did stop by here, because I'd just be like, shh.
No, I knew I knew you were working and stuff. I didn't want to bother you.
But anyway,
well, I'm glad I stopped in for this was a good conversation.
Yes.
That sounds good, Oddbox.
We can talk about music all day long. I mean, that's something that everybody enjoys, right?
Crystal said me either. Yeah, I'm just swooping in and swooping out.
That's all right.
Cussing some people out in between.
Sometimes that's just the way it is.
I had to call the police today. That's a whole big story. I'll tell you about it after the show.
Yeah.
But,
now I'm stuck.
Had 4 officers asking me questions.
Ooh.
And no handcuffs.
Were there any handcuffs at any point?
I'm gonna pat my.
Oh, goodness.
I would just like to say,
you're very proud of you.
I'm really surprised they didn't just take you to jail just because you made them do something over there. He's over here chilling. He called us out for this bullshit. But anyway,
you too, Crystal. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, it's good seeing y'all. It's good having Tully back for the time. And thank you all for watching us. Next Friday we'll be back, and we will do the Memphis Children's Home at that point. Oh God, I dread it. I gotta retype all of that, but I'll do it. I'll do it for content and for you all. And so next Friday at 8 p.m. Memphis Children's Home, the Children's Home Society or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
So thank you all for watching us, because we're watching you. Peace.